Rob O'Neill is here. How are you, buddy?
Hello, I'm good. I appreciate you guys calling me.
You don't age, dude. Every time I see
I appreciate that.
Yes.
I feel like shit. I had a big weekend at Kid Rock's house, and I feel like shit, but, thank you.
Yeah. Is that what you went for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he's got a joint down in Alabama, so we go there, and he's always said you don't need anything bigger than a double wide. So you go to the double wide, hang out in the garage, boil some crawfish, have a bunch of beers, and watch football. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Kind of tough to get to, a little destination. It's lower Alabama, but it's definitely worth it. Great people down there. They know how to live life the right speed. Like type people that can live off the land. I could get up at 4 a.m. or I could not. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, is it Gulf Shores? Gulf Shores, is that what it is?
No, we flew into Montgomery, and then we're about 45 minutes away from there, so it's not really a town anywhere there.
Is that near where Clayton lives?
No, so he lives in Clay, Alabama, which is kind of near...
Oh, that's a little farther north.
Yeah. Kind of near like Birmingham. I always
It's still in the middle of goddamn nowhere, though.
Birmingham, yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's great. And like, dude, he's one of those people, because like, he's my best friend. He lives in Alabama.
He's the same way. He just stays out there, smokes weed, and writes all the time. Hangs out with his family.
And he has like a fully operational farm that he, uses as like food and vegetables and fishing and all that stuff. And he really does live that life. But you're right. That's Alabama where, shit, man, I don't even know if he knew COVID was going on, to be honest with you, because his life did not change.
Yeah, that sounds about right, too. And it's the same that's the same they were down there. And everyone's cool, but yeah, a lot of fun. It's in between going between Nashville and New York and New York City, just getting out amongst it with the locals is just a great time. So we had fun.
Yeah, it is nice to get away from time to time. I mean, Jesus Christ, this is like running a marathon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, at the end of every day, I'm just like exhausted from running my fucking dumb mouth.
How many are you doing a day?
Well,
you typically
2 shows probably a day, something like that. It depends on the day. Sometimes it's just 1, but
sometimes it's 3 or 4. Like today's 3. We're doing a Super Bowl wrap-up show today. Speaking of which, you watched the big game, obviously. Did you have money on Tampa Bay? I was the only one who picked Tampa Bay here.
Oh wait, before we get into that, did you have Ray Care down there in Alabama with you?
No, Ray Care's he's driving across the country. I talked to him, and I think he was in Phoenix or Tucson, and he drove into San Diego. Then he was out there. But
is he just doing push-ups and burpees across the country or what? Because that's really starting to piss me off.
That dude, the best way that I heard him described is his abs have abs. Like, he's a freak.
He's really starting to piss me off.
Yeah, well, it's one of those dudes, like, that you try to tell him, like, them being his base, his fans, like, you can't work out like this. Like, this will hurt you.
Yeah.
Like, he's a couple other guys out there can do it, but I can't do that shit.
Hell no.
My pull-up game's gone down since I'm pushing 44 or something now. So it's like you expect.
Well, Tom. Speaking of 44, Tom Brady's going to be 44 soon, and he looks like he's 25 goddamn years old still.
It's crazy. He's the only person I would actually consider like maybe going vegan for. That it looks like it works.
It looks like it works.
It does. Everyone else.
If you're
he was so cool.
Go ahead, Rob.
Before the game, he said, I still feel like I'm 43, but I still feel like the high school kid in the locker room. I got to go play football with my friends. Like that's just his attitude. The fact that Gisele doesn't let him eat anything except like peppers or whatever.
But is that her or him? Is the question that I have, because I heard behind the scenes his regimen is so gnarly that it's he's got this group of trainers that roll with him everywhere. That was part of the split with the Patriots. Was they were not happy that he wanted his trainer in the locker room. They
actually booted the guy
room.
Out after a while, right?
Yeah, they kicked him off the premises.
And that was pretty much the end of Tom Brady in New England.
Well, the other part of this was the TB12 diet. Yeah. So he was getting other players on it, and then they were complaining that those guys were getting injured because it was all vegan and, they weren't having enough protein in their diet and all that other stuff. Well, clearly it's working for Tom Brady.
For him, but that's not, he's probably not the best example. Like we know from relatively recent interviews over the last year or so that Russell Wilson spends about $3 million on his diet regimen per year, right?
Yeah.
What do you think Tom Brady's spending on his? Frankly, it's got to be more than that, you would think, right?
Yeah.
Because to be able to source quality proteins like that in the vegan community is not the easiest thing to do, right? You know what I mean? You really have to be on it all the time. But he's like that. I don't remember who it was that we interviewed. It was it was either one of his friends or a journalist, and it was like
You ever notice about vegans who just a little side note, like they always hate people that eat meat, but we rarely hate vegans.
No one
Like, I don't
cares
really
about
care.
vegans. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about a vegan. I don't think about vegans. The only time I think about it is every single Super Bowl when Tom Brady's in it, and I'm like, oh shit, he's a vegan, dude, and he looks like he's 4 years old.
Well, let's talk about the game because it was either a really good game or a really bad one, depending on where you were financially invested, right?
Yeah.